So what's up, people? This is Robert Bassano. I want to talk to you guys about, man, I just, you know, I worked in counter intel for a while, man, when I was a contractor. And I tell you, I think maybe it, it, it inflicted a little bit of psychological damage on me, man. Because I don't fucking trust anything anymore. I don't trust anything anyone says. I don't trust anything I see anymore. And, the more and more I start looking into, what Globers are saying and what Flat Earth is saying, man, it's not confusing me, but it's bringing home that mantra that trust no one. Don't trust shit. And here we have DARPA talking about robotic servicing vehicle and envisioned missions. They're talking about putting some sort of satellite out in the geosynchronous orbit, right? Geosynchronous orbit. They're just going to sit the fuck out there to be some sort of like sentry. And this thing will be able to service satellites in geosynchronous orbit. So if the satellite's got a problem, got some sort of malfunction, boom, who you going to call? The DARPA robotic system. Man, this is comical. I mean, you're just going to have this thing out there. Maybe you're going to have one, maybe you're going to have a couple of them. But let's just say, you're putting this, and here's the fucking ignorance and stupidity behind fucking DARPA and the U.S. fucking intelligence community, period. Because they talk about this open government bullshit, right? So you put this fucking shit out there in the open for the Russians and the Chinese. This is what this program is for. To combat what the Russians and Chinese are doing, shooting shit out of the fucking sky, right? Offensive and defensive satellite programs, right? And you put this out in the open and let the Chinese and Russians know, hey, we got this thing out there. So what do you fucking think they're going to do if you're Chinese or Russians? You're going to go searching for this fucking thing, right? Because if you want to destroy fucking U.S. satellites, then you're going to find the fucking mechanic who's supposed to be out there waiting to fix one of these fucking things or replace one. And then you can start destroying the fucking satellites you want to destroy. So it kind of defeats the purpose, isn't it? The fuck would you want to let somebody know you got a robot out there fixing shit? I'll go after the fucking robots first, and then I'll go after your sats. But you can't even believe this shit even exists, or will exist. Because they're talking about this shit being out at 36,000 kilometers. Man, please. Wait till you see the fucking video I'm going to show you. They do all this shit inside a dark room, with a bunch of computer and graphic design engineers simulating all this shit during rehearsals. There's no fucking rehearsal. That's literally, they're showing you how they're doing this shit right now. When they gotta show dockings of the Soyuz to the ISS, or show some satellite launch or NRO launch of a special satellite. Man, it's a fucking joke, man. It's a fucking joke. Wait till you see the video of this shit. It's comical. Straight up comical. So, of course, what you're going to see is an artist's concept video of what this shit's supposed to look like. Okay? And you're going to see the computer modeling program, and then you're going to see what they're doing inside a facility. And then you just analyze for yourself. Do your own research and ask yourself, could this be how they've been doing shit all along? Because, I mean, you work in systems engineering for satellites. You got to go to work every day, and the room you got to go into, the fucking walls are completely fucking black, and everything, you don't have any contrasting colors, or you don't want to create any kind of reflective surfaces. This is how you would design this facility. And then you prop up a green screen behind this motherfucker. And there you go. Booyah. There's your fucking space program. There's everything that involves anything where they talk about space. But I want to keep re-emphasizing where space actually begins, because it's at 100 kilometers, 328,000 feet above the surface of the Earth. So anything between 328,000 feet and say 400,000 feet, maybe 500,000 feet maximum, that's where everything's occurring. So when they say geosynchronous orbit at 36,000 kilometers, they ain't no fucking proof. They can fake the fucking telemetry data on a fucking rocket launch. They can do that. That's easy to do. It just involves algorithms. You can develop any kind of algorithm on MATLAB signal processing, image processing toolbox, and you just plug in the mathematics and you can create your own telemetry template to show throwing a fucking baseball in the air and faking how fucking far the baseball traveled. That's how it is these days. That's how it's always been. But watch this video. Just watch this video. So I wanted to pause it for a second to explain something to you guys, okay? Like I said, they're doing this shit in 200 times real time, okay? That's okay. No big deal about that. I'm not going to talk about that. But here's the deal. Here it is, you got this robot out there, right? In geosynchronous orbit. It's just sitting out there waiting. So if you're the Russian or Chinese, right? And you want to find out where the fuck these robot satellites are, they're supposed to be fixing damaged satellites or malfunction satellites. You want to know where these robots are? What you're going to do is you're going to be on the ground. You're going to get access. You're going to have a computer network exploitation and computer network attack team who can hack in undetected to U.S. Space Command systems. Or you get yourself an insider who can give you backdoor access, give you some codes to get in to see what the fuck the U.S. has in geosynchronous orbit, right? See what kind of NRO satellites they have, whatever they may have out there that they haven't told anybody about. And we know there's a shitload out there that they haven't told anybody about. But let's just say you're going to spend the money, you're going to pay some people to get on inside this network. You got nothing but fucking time. You ain't in a rush. You're not in a rush, but you want to know what the fuck they got out there. So what you do is you have someone send some malware packets, develop some special malware and virus packets and remote access tools, RATs, to be injected inside the network system so that when they got to communicate with these geosynchronous satellites, or the geosynchronous satellites got to communicate with the ground-based systems, as soon as they access that motherfucker, they pick it up, they inject this packet, and then you cause a malfunction of the satellite. So when you cause the satellite to malfunction, here comes the robot. It's got to deploy. So they got to turn this motherfucker's already passively operating. But now it gets activated to go travel to where the satellite is. So you just sit and wait. You're the Russians and Chinese now. You just sit and fucking wait. And then you start seeing movement in the sky. Because you can track this shit. Now you've located the fucking robot. So boom! You got another offensive weapon out there orbiting in space in low Earth orbit. And you fire a fucking laser to take out that fucking robot. Take it out completely. Just take out that motherfucker. So now you got the malfunction and broken satellite that the robot was supposed to go fix. That motherfucker's just out there. You just wasted 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. That motherfucker can't be fixed at all. Because if you got another robot, they're gonna find that motherfucker too. And you're gonna have people in the US Space Command, the National Reconnaissance Office, National Geospatial, DOD, asking themselves, what the fuck happened? Where's the robot? Did a meteor hit it? Did something hit it? You know? That's what they're going to be thinking. Did some space alien somehow capture the fucking thing, or did it malfunction too? Because what's going to happen if the robot malfunctions? What's going to fix the robot? Another robot? You understand where I'm coming from on this, right, people? You see where I'm getting at with this shit. They put this shit out in the open, talking about they spending hundreds of fucking billions of dollars on space defense and weapons and national security. And they tell the whole fucking world what it is they're doing. So if you the Russian or Chinese, it ain't gonna cost you much money at all, because you know the motherfuckers in the United States are just dumb as fuck. And if they putting this information out there, it's propaganda to see what the Russians or Chinese are going to try to develop, or how they're going, or maybe they're putting, let's just say maybe they're putting this shit out there to determine, or to watch the Chinese and Russians to see if they're going to actually try to penetrate the network, to locate secret geosync systems that are out in orbit. That's another way. I mean, that could be fucking highly fucking probable, right? But see, I don't think the intelligence community is that fucking smart. I think they intentionally put this shit out there because, number one, they don't fucking have the capability. Number two, they probably looking for somebody else to develop the capability so they can fucking wait for them to file a patent and stop the fucking issuance of it and label it a fucking state secret, and then the person can't fucking sell the goddamn fucking technology at all. The government comes in and buys it up for fucking less than $1 million and says, okay, sign this document, you need to shut the fuck up. And you can't talk to anybody about anything because we own this shit now. Thank you very fucking much. And then when they try to go put it in play, Chinese and Russians find out about it anyway. And it's been a program that they try to keep secret. Man, the U.S. ain't got no fucking secrets, man. It's all a bunch of fucking lies that they trying to make people think are highly protected secrets. It's all bullshit. Let's continue with the video. So here's the computer model of how this shit's supposed to work. Here's the inside of the facility. Black walls, very limited reflective surfaces other than what's on the machines. You see how it's painted, and it's navy gray. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Man, this is how they're doing everything, man. Everything. Start seeing that shit they do in space? The ISS? All that shit's occurring on the fucking ground. Yeah, I know. You gotta have these facilities to rehearse and practice what you're gonna do. You know, for real, they say. Man, ain't nothing fucking for real. The shit all these facilities you see with them practicing, rehearsing, shit. They're just making sure that the shit all matches up so that when they have to put the video into a computer program, a high performance computer, and they start doing the software programming, the shit looks like it's the real fucking thing. Like they're really out in fucking space at 2, 3, 4, 500 miles. And they ain't ever fucking gotten out to that distance, man. All the shit's taking place on the ground. All of it. Space program's a bunch of bullshit, man. Maybe you can get something 350, 400,000 feet. Maybe. People saying that they've seen fucking the ISS in a telescope and shit. How the fuck you know it's at 300 miles? Huh? You see the ISS in the telescope, how you know the ISS is 300 miles? Because all you know about your telescope is what the resolution is and what the capacity is with regard to super telephoto lensing. Your telescope ain't telling you what the fucking distance of an object is when you look at it in a telescope. Your telescope is not telling you that. And if you got a laser rangefinder, that fucker only has a limited capability as well, including those fucking little laser rangefinders that gauge temperature. You got those little handheld fucking temperature lasers and shit trying to judge what the fucking temperature of the moon is and shit in the shade and in the light. Man, come on. You want to know what the real temperature of the moon is in the shade of the fucking light? You better spend some fucking money or do a fucking crowdfunding goddamn campaign and get yourself a real powerful ass laser so that when you have a super moon, you can shoot that fucker directly at the surface of the moon and know what the real fucking temperature is instead of putting it on the fucking concrete or the fucking wood deck or some bullshit. Come on, man. This is fucking ridiculous. They showing all this shit. Yeah, I know it's an artist's rendition, but damn, the planet ain't even fucking moving. You can at least try to create some sort of moving planet and make it look a little bit more realistic. You got software to do that shit. This shit is crazy, man. Crazy. That's all I gotta say.